Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? Yes, I'm back. How's your weekend been so far? How's your last 6 months been so far? Welcome to the original Sunday morning Leicester City football show. Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kick-off time. Come on, you Foxes.
The City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Good morning. Like I say, how the devil are you? It's nice to be back. Just like to thank Reedy for doing it for the last 5-6 months. But a lot's happened in the last 6 months, hasn't it, since I've been gone? Vardy leaves, no surprise there. City are relegated, no surprise there. Ruud van Nistelrooy gets the sack. Surprised it took so long? Maybe. No manager pre-season. Really? No surprise there. Martin Cifuentes take control. No surprise. Took a bit long. 3 signings last day of the transfer window. No real surprise to me. 12 games on. 10th place, 17 points. 1 win in 8 games. No surprise, to be fair. No pride, no passion, no fight. No surprise. Really? Not really. Am I really surprised at what's happened so far? Not really, especially after yesterday. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's good. Morning, everyone. I've missed a lot. Morning, Jasmine. How are you? Morning, Ian. How are you? There's a comment there about the bar. Gray, looking forward to seeing you next year. Who are you? Andy Medhurst. Andy Medhurst, you're a bit naughty. Staying in Calidore and not coming up to see me, or not making, was it Calidore, I think, or what? I can't remember where it was. You're a bit naughty. Morning, Adam. How are you? It's not that far away. Morning, armchair jockey. I bet it feels nothing has changed. No, nothing. It doesn't seem nothing has changed whatsoever. He's back. Yes, Tom, thank you. He's back. Really poor yesterday. The club's rotten from top to bottom. Things haven't changed at all, have they? Really, like somebody else said, yes, and welcome. I'm going to bring, Gray wasn't at the game. He was at Oxford. Well, I don't think you missed a lot. I watched it. You didn't miss a lot. I'm going to bring in, I've got an abundance. Oh, no, sorry. I haven't got an abundance. I've got the normal suspects. Reedy, how are you, pal? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You could probably tell I'm a bit tired from yesterday's game, but yeah, all good.
Yeah, Reedy once again overslept and we had to wake him up. So luckily we're here. And Nick, here's Nick. How are you, Nick? How are you, pal?
Hello, mate. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm all right.
Cheers, mate. Where is Little Reedy? Little Reedy's in the middle there. You can't miss Little Reedy. Such a lot has gone on, but I'm not going to drag. Welcome back, Jamie. Since August the 24th. Since August 2004, 50 games, 10 wins, 50 goals, and 2 million spent on transfer. Leicester, Stoke, and Derby. 3 poor management appointments. When will they learn? When will Woodkin and Top take responsibility? We're not going to drag on about the last 6 months. We'll talk about this week. Reedy, you went to both games. Things haven't changed, have they, really, to be fair, from what I've seen?
It's frustrating because I think since the Swansea game when we got the result, I think there was, I don't know, obviously when Cifuentes said about arrogance and all that, I thought, you know what, that's kicked him up the backside against Swansea and then we've moved on after the international break. But it just hasn't. And I feel like it's still just setting of a bit of complacency, and I just feel like we're just too good enough to be playing any of these teams. But it obviously shows not. Yesterday was woeful. I think it was even worse than the whole performance in the first half. I don't know what happened yesterday. Realistically, I think the team news was better. I still think there's some changes he could have made, but realistically, overall, Millwall were better than us on every stat. Yes, they weren't good enough, better than us on passing, but strong enough, better, faster, everything. They got to the first balls all the time. They wanted it compared to us, and we didn't. There's a reason they're above us in the table. And to be honest, I got fed up after yesterday in a way. I normally like the style of play, but the system doesn't work when you've got certain players in the team, for me, that kind of slow the performance down. And again, mistakes has cost us once again. I think we probably could have easier drawn that game 0-0 if we didn't make the mistake, and that's cost us again.
Yeah, Nick, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, Martin Cifuentes, see, I can say Martin Cifuentes because it's a Spanish name, so I'm quite used to saying that. He came out with a statement, or in an interview, he wants to use the 3 Ps: pressing, possession, and position. And my mind, which means pressing, which means winning the ball high up the pitch. We don't seem to be doing that. Dominating the game with the ball. Yes, we're getting 100% of possession. I think it was something like 70% possession in the second half. And position is having players in the right areas to be effective, and creativity. In my mind, Nick, the 3 Ps mean pathetic and piss poor.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, out of those 3 Ps, mate, I'd rather just have 1 P. I'd rather have pressing myself, fight the ball
Or
back,
points.
get forward. Yeah, or points, yeah. So the 2 Ps, pressing and points. It's pathetic, mate. They not up for a scrap whatsoever. Look at the Hull game. They come out, even Portsmouth in their second half, they came out, totally different teams, ready to scrap on at them. And we just lie back, oh, I can't cope. None of them, not one of them yesterday were fit to wear the shirt, in my opinion. Probably out of all of them, Jakob with his penalty save. But
Yeah,
no, it's
I
not.
think at the minute, Jakob, if there was a man of the 12 games, the first 3 months, Jakob would be my man of the match, because man of the season so far, because he has done well. I'm just going to bring Jono in because Jono has joined. How are you, Jono? How are you, pal?
Morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How's everyone?
I'm good. How are you finding life back in Leicester? It's a long time since I've spoke to you, pal.
Yeah, we're settling in. We moved back at Easter, so yeah, it's been about 6 months now. So I've got my season ticket and, down at the KP every other week. Looking forward to the Blackburn game next week. Hopefully, we can put things right.
You're looking forward
just
to
talking
it,
about.
Well, I'm looking forward to hopefully putting it right. But yeah. I mean, yeah, on paper, and you're going to say you're going to ridicule me for saying that. On paper, we should beat Blackburn at home, but yeah, said that a few times this season, haven't we?
Yeah. Now this is Jono. This is where I'm going to disagree with you an awful lot, and I've disagreed a few of you in a few of the football chats as well. People are saying we should be beating Hull, we should be beating Millwall on paper, and I says we don't play football on paper. We play football on a green thing called a pitch. When we go over that white line, and people say, well, we should be beating them. They're no Millwall are the form team. They've got 12 points out of 12. Hull have got 10 out of 12. We've got 1 out of 12.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people think we, and also
it's
people
because
are
we're
saying,
entitled.
I'm not entitled, reader.
Hold on a minute. Let me finish this with Jono. I don't understand why some people are thinking, oh yeah, even Jacob Ramsey said that we can win. I came here to win, not just get promoted, but win the league. We're not going to win the league on that performance. And if we're not good enough, we don't deserve to be anywhere. We're 10th. Like I said in my little monologue at the beginning, we're 10th with 17 points. Gray says Coventry are running away with it. Jono, things ain't won on paper. I know you're going to get ridiculed for it, but it's on the pitch that counts, mate.
Absolutely. I totally agree with all of that. And that's why I said I'm open to be ridiculed for making statements like that. However, you look at the squad, we should be better than what we're doing. And something's not clicking. We've said it for many, many years that Yeah, I think yesterday we looked bang average, and but I do think that ultimately we are underperforming with the players we've got. The reasons for that we can go into. There's a stack of them. Calling the fans entitled, possibly that's fair in some cases. I think that filters back to the pitch. I think the players are entitled. They think that they're better than they are, and they're strutting around these matches and think that they're entitled to win because they played in the Premier League. It doesn't work that way, and that's what's frustrating me. Is that certainly against Hull, that lack of application against Hull was just shocking, and that showed Hamza, a lot of them, Samare. We said it about him many times. I don't want to point fingers necessarily, but the whole lot of them against Hull was a shocking performance, and where that came from, I don't know, because we up until the international break, I thought that we'd turned a corner. Albeit, every time we'd got a win, it was always on the back of a worldie or on some sort of amazing, probably from Fatu in most cases, or JJ in a couple of occasions, creating something out of nothing, or we're not creating chances in a conventional way like a team should be. So that's where eventually those sort of things are going to dry up, and I think that that's what's happened. All of those worldies from Fatu and one-off goals from midfield have kind of dried up, and that's shown us for what we are, which got no options up front at all. And
just on one thing, Reedy, that Jono just made, he made a decent point. Do we rely? He mentioned Fatah. Do we rely on Fatah far too much? Because if he's had a bad game, we're shocking. We're shit. Like against Hull, the second half against Hull. Nick, don't do that. You make me feel sick, pal. Turn it back around the other way. Are we relying on Fatah too much?
It's difficult because a few weeks ago I was saying that he was a one-trick pony, and it's not in a bad way, because when his one-trick pony move works and it goes in, like Jono says, it's a stunner. But it's hard because, again, I don't think we've had to rely on him, but because we haven't got a striker up front that's scoring goals, because he is the only one scoring these good goals, that we're thinking, are we always saying if he doesn't score, we're not going to win? But I don't know. In my personal opinion, I think Marty's just playing the wrong team for the system he wants to play. I just don't think it's quality enough to do it. I think we've got the players to do it in the Championship. We've seen it before under Enzo.
Hold on, Reedy. You said you think you've got the players. Sorry, you think we've got the players to do it. But Craig, Mr. 62 here, people keep saying our squad is good enough, but clearly it isn't. Stats don't lie, and we keep getting outplayed by players who've never heard of. To be honest, I didn't know one single player from that Millwall team yesterday. And the only player I knew against Hull, the only two, I didn't even know him. The only one I knew against Hull was Ollie McBurn, and he wasn't even playing. I didn't know any of the Hull players.
The only reason I think we've got good enough players is because 2 years ago we've got majority of the team that we did under Enzo. I think the only two we've really not got is Dewsbury Hall and Vardy, which I know are two big names in the lineup for how we were playing. But again, now you got JJ. He's kind of filled the role of the Dewsbury Hall replacement. I know he's probably not as good yet, but I think there's signs of him showing that. And then again, Vardy is just never going to be replaced. So for me, I think the team is there to do it. I just think he's picking the wrong players for how we want to play. Again, the quickness. I think Jordan Ayew is just clearly not good enough to be quick on the ball and move it. Luke Thomas, as much as we didn't really actually play him last season, 2 years ago, did we? We played Doyle. So I think there's areas of the team where he's picking them because that's all we've got. But realistically, it doesn't suit it, because I just think we're making too many mistakes, or we're just not quick enough when it comes to moving the ball forward. And I think yesterday clearly showed for me that the amount of times Ayew got the ball in the middle where he shouldn't be, but he was, and he could have easily gone swivel round and pass it forward. He went, right, I'm getting the ball and I'll pass it straight back. I get the point of it because that's the style of play, but you need someone like a Winks who, when they're confident and when they're good enough to move the ball, he will turn and will spray the ball everywhere. At the moment, we're not doing that. I feel like that's the issue with getting the ball forward, and that's why we struggled very much yesterday.
Right, Nick, just on that point about players and stuff like that, what Reedy's mentioned. In another interview a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks, it wasn't that long ago, it was just before the last international break. Cifuentes wanted young players, he wanted to bring the young players through. And there's young players wanting to play. But there was none in that 20-man squad yesterday. There was Silko Thomas and Jeremy Monga. That was it. We've won one game since August. The team that's playing, this old guard that's playing, took us down twice. I mean, what about Nelson, Evans, Page, Aluku, Chris Popoff? 3 of them played in the under-21s yesterday against Southampton at Seagrave, and Aluku and Popoff both scored. Evans, he didn't score, but he played the full 90 minutes. Why not try them? Our strikers have scored 1 goal in 30 accumulation of all their appearances, 1 goal in 30 games between them. I just don't know whether it's worth giving Carranza 5 games, just pure, you're playing 5 games, next 5 games, no matter what you do, unless you get sent off, to see what you can do. The only thing that worries me with Carranza is a bit slow. He can't really beat a man with pace.
No, but again though, we have got pace in Dakar supposedly, but he can't hit a cow's arse with a banjo, J-Man.
Well, he had a shot on goal yesterday, so.
He had the only shot.
Well done. He's had one shot. It's getting close to a calendar year since his last goal.
Yeah, I know, but forget about Dakar. I'm talking about the young players.
What I'm trying to say is, he's not. But the fact is, we have got depth, but the problem is the depth isn't very good. We made 4 signings in the summer. A goalkeeper in Begovic. We brought in that other goalkeeper from Real Betis, which was a free, and we brought 3 loans in. One of which is now probably cropped because it looked like he'd done his hammer in Ramsey.
Yeah.
It's not good enough, mate. I'm sorry. We've been missing a playmaker in the middle of that pitch for years. We've got nobody that can cross a ball, let alone take a corner. I don't see why we have to play this tiki-taka Pep Guardiola style football. I hate it. I think it's the worst thing that's ever come over to our game, full stop. Just because Pep Guardiola can do it with his embarrassment of riches at Manchester City doesn't mean you should have Leicester City or Chesterfield or Burton Albion trying to play it, because they can't do it. The players ain't that good. Go back old school, reset. Look at Sunderland yesterday. Look at Sunderland against Chelsea yesterday. And going back to what Jono was saying about on paper, realistically, out of everybody, who would have put Sunderland to beat Chelsea with their embarrassments of riches? Not a lot of people.
I called it before I got on the bus yesterday. I actually said, what's the chances of Sunderland beating Chelsea? And
what I'm saying is, they pressed, they got in their face, they went as a team, and they attacked. We've not done that for a long time, and we can only do a 45-minute performance, either half, best this season. It's not good enough, and I'm not blaming Barter because he's not been given the tools to do his job. He didn't even get a pre-season, for God's sake. And everybody moaning as well. Get him out. When was the last time a manager of our club actually paid to come and manage our club? Because that's what Marty did. He actually bought out his contracts at QPR so that he could manage us. There's not many managers in this day and age who do that. Fair play to him. But he's not been given the tools to his job.
Jono, another thing he said he wanted to change the dynamic of the team, but it was just the same, light for light yesterday. Why not blood some of the youngsters? Why not change Evans, who's greedy for something, Page, Aluka at fullback, Chris Popoff, Nelson, something different? I would rather lose 3 or 4-0, giving it a go, than going down like a damp squid yesterday, to be fair, Jono.
Yeah, I think you're right. Some of the youngsters do need to start featuring more. I think what Marty seems now to be doing is what's happened under Nistelrooy and Cooper, where something doesn't work for a game. We've had a bad result, and we'll swap out tired old people that don't perform for us for others that haven't performed for us 2 or 3 games before, and you're just rotating. I bet you Samari starts next week because you know, and he'll bring him back in because something's not clicked in midfield, and you know, Faz will come back in next week because we bought a Coley in. You know, so you're just swapping, you're doing that whole rotation, and I think you're right. Something needs to give, and something else needs to change. And I agree with you. It's not about the quality or supposed quality. It's about application, and Millwall just applied themselves better in the game. Likewise at Hull, they just came out and had a go. We didn't. We just didn't apply ourselves, and it's shocking, really, the amount of money they're being paid at this level that they can't apply themselves. And it's a mentality thing for me. And I think Marty's suffering from the same things that the other managers previously have also suffered from. Is just an entitled squad that think they're too good, or they don't care and they're not playing for the badge in some cases. And I think he's going to run out of ideas at some point. And I think the youngsters,
go on, Nick.
Bring the youngsters in. I would agree. At least feature them on the bench. However, I think we got to be careful about saying let's bring all the youngsters in, because we've seen Mungo had a good start, but he's looked out of his depth, frankly, in the last few games, and not performed at all. Luke Thomas been shocking. So we've got to be careful. Thomas came in yesterday out on the left, and again looked completely out of his depth.
I've been saying, John, I've been saying about Monga, just on that point about Monga, I think he's more of an impact player at his age, the last 15, 20 minutes coming on. Yeah. But because Mavididi had need a kick up the arse, and he's just been shocking, Mavididi. Yesterday when he came on, he was awful, absolutely awful. For that 10-minute appearance he made, he was absolutely shocking. He did nothing. I think that's the problem. Mavididi is shocking, and it's forced him to play Jeremy Monga too many minutes. It should have been 15, 20 minutes coming on. That Mark Leonard, or Neil Leonard, or whatever his name, had him on toast yesterday. Monga could not get past him. And it even proved that when Silko Thomas came on, he had to go on the right-hand side, and Mavididi came on the left-hand side to try, Fattery came on the left-hand side to try and beat him, because Monga was getting nothing from that Leonard. And it's just, it's really frustrating. Reader, you were at the game. I know you were at the game. Them last 10, 15 minutes, this is a comment come from our fearless leader, our editor, Phil, that's been saying it for years. The last 10 minutes of the game, 10, 15 minutes of the game, we're fucking about with it, tippy-tapping in defence. Yeah. We're 1-0 down. We're not playing long balls. And when we do play long balls, they're overhit. There was a few times yesterday they were overhit. And you know what? I think this is you might get on me back for this, but I think this is down to Seagrave, because it's out in the sticks and it's windy and it's open, and they have to put more on it in Seagrave to get the crosses right. Well, when they're playing on the football pitches, which are covered and there's no wind, that's when they're using the same thing and the crosses are awful. That's my point on it, but they don't do it. We've seen it many a times against Portsmouth, against Hull. We were just tippy-tapping it around, Reader. I mean, what's it like? I mean, yesterday there was a bit of blue on blue in the crowd, wasn't there? I know there was about
I didn't see. I was gone the moment the whistle blew, to be honest.
Yeah, so there was a bit of blue on blue yet again. Well, yeah, Gray, I know it's poor excuses, but it's part of the problem. The crosses are just awful. Go on then, Reedy. What do you think? The last 10, 15 minutes where they're just not going for it. Other teams go for it. Sunderland did. Sunderland scored in third minute of injury time when it took, I think. Why don't?
Yeah, they did. The third place one, they deserved it.
It must be frustrating sitting in the crowd, Reedy, knowing what's coming.
Thing is, the difference between 2 years ago and now is there was still always a chance, even though we were playing like that, there was always, if we're playing like this, we will create a chance. And there was a few chances in that last few minutes that we could have done again. I don't know what time the Carranza shot was. We had one on the back post where you could have tapped it away in the back post, but it's annoying because I get what people are saying, but the moment the keeper does pass it to one of the centre backs, more times than not, in them last minutes, they do try and loft it a bit more higher than just passing it out. So I just don't get why the keeper wouldn't just do that anyway, out of the two of them.
I was about to say that, really. If we're struggling with one down with a few minutes to go and they start launching it long, what's the difference with being at 0-0 and trying to launch it long if they think that that's a better tactic to score a goal? I just don't get that at all. We suddenly changed tack, and I think we need to look at how we vary it up. You know, the tick-tacker thing, I agree with you. It's frustrating as hell to see
rubbish.
The likes of Vestergaard and Fast pass it around the back. And I've seen it so many times this season where we give it away and then they give them a throw-in or something, or even give away a corner, and the pressure's back on us. And I've said it millions of times at the KP where we've tick-tacked it around the back and then we end up losing it and give them an opportunity to put pressure on us. I hate it. But if we are going to play that way, we've got to vary it sometimes go long, and we've got to play much more quickly. It's really, really frustrating. I'm with you all on this.
It's like Mr. 62 here says, Craig, I honestly think there's been a backroom decision forcing managers to play a certain way. They're sticking to it, even though it's clearly not working. We don't have the players with the ability to play any other way. It's the same.
It's not forcing managers, though. They just keep bringing in the managers that want to play that way.
Yeah, that means so there's a decision.
Yeah, but that comes from the top. No pun intended, but that comes from the top, Reader.
They want to play this way. It's the same with Enzo, with Van Nistelrooy last year. If plan A doesn't work, stick to plan A and try it again. There's no plan B or plan C. It's the same plan minute in, minute out, no matter what. It's just, I don't know, it's just getting monotonous. I was hoping things were going to change over the summer. But again, we're in a different league, but we're talking about the same fucking thing time after time again. There's no pride, there's no passion, there's no fight, nothing's been installed. Look at Millwall, how they defended. I was going to say they defended like beavers, but some of you probably won't know that quote. But they defended. Yeah, Nick, you will.
I know I do.
They defended so well. Oh, you know it as well, dear. They defended so well. It was unbelievable. They threw their bodies on the line from minute 1 to minute 90. I know Winks did it for 1 second of the game when a shot came in and he got it in the midriff. But the centre halves for Millwall. I mean, you know what gets me with our centre halves? They're so passive. They're nowhere near aggressive enough. You look at the Millwall defenders. They were just throwing, like I said, from minute 1, they were pushing, barging. IU got nothing. Don't blame the ref, please, because the referees are the same in this league. Don't go blaming the referee like you normally do. And I think it's due to clubs wanting ball-playing centre halves. So when the cross comes into the box, they don't know what to do. They're not sure what to do, how to head it away anymore, because they want ball-playing centre halves. But Millwall's defenders, the two defenders, I can't remember the names because it's just they were winning everything. They were doing the old-fashioned dark arts of football. And the referee gave them nothing. We're just not. Our defenders are not aggressive enough to play centre halves because we've got ball-winning centre halves. And Reedy, don't you dare blame the referee again, like you do every week. I'm
not blaming him.
He was the same for everything.
It was shocking, but I'm not blaming him.
Reedy, all those no player, as I say, other than Jakob yesterday for his save against the penalty, not one of them can hold their head up high and say they left it out on the pitch. They're all gutless.
I wouldn't say left it out on the pitch. I still think there was a few players that kind of had to be their level to make sure we didn't concede.
Not one of them can say they earned their wages. That's for sure. They stroll around thinking they're pampered at that Seagrave. They think they're better than all of this. Fast, for example, thinks he's far too good. He's better than what he is. Vestergaard, he's about as slow as a sloth, but I'll give him his due. He can pass the ball. But not one of them can say...
We don't need centre halves.
No, we don't. And I don't like it. No, mate. And I don't. I like an old school centre back.
Win the headers, get it out, clear the ball. We're not doing that.
I wish we had two centre backs in the moulds of Morgan and Hoof again. If anything, just whack it out and stuff. If in doubt, kick it out. Why do we have to overcomplicate it? Why can't we just boot it into Rose Ed if you need to? If he clears your lines, that's it. But this is the biggest bomb scare going.
Great. It's not counter-attack anymore. That's old school. It's transition now. Let's get it right. If you come in on this show, Gray, get the comments right. It's transition, not counter-attacked anymore, pal. But yeah, Jono, I mean, we've got a week. You're looking forward to the Blackburn game. I'm back for the Stoke game on the 22nd of November. I won't quite say I'm looking forward to it, but what's making you look forward to it? Is it because you're going with the kids for the family and enjoying them moments of being at the King Power, or is it because of the football and you can see something different? I don't know. I mean, because I'm sort of looking forward to it, but I'm not sure whether I am looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't know why I've done it, to be honest, but I'm back for the Stoke game.
I mean, it's a really good question. Why I'm looking forward to it. I think for me personally, it's about taking my lad down, and the fact that this is our first season as season ticket holders for a long, long time because we've moved back. And so, we've got to stick with it. And as far as I'm concerned, we're a supporter. We go along and we give them support. That doesn't mean we can't criticise when we don't see what we want, but we're there to support them
because it's a place to criticise and say what you want.
So I think that they should be. They're putting it out on the pitch, or they're just putting whatever display that they do out on the pitch, and that's up for criticism. We can have opinions and we can talk about how they've applied themselves or not, but we're still there to support them. So when it's 0-0 against Blackburn, I'm going to be hoping that we get the 3 points and we can see a turnaround in performance. So I'm looking at it as the season's not written off. Yes, this week's been terrible, but I'm hoping that, and it's hope that kills you always, isn't it? But hoping that we can turn it around and start looking at more positive results. I think if I'm being realistic, we're going to be struggling to go up this year. I think if we get a playoff spot, I think that will be a decent achievement from where I see we are at the moment. You always sort of measure it after 10 games. We've done 11 now, haven't we? So look where we are. I think we've underperformed, and I think if we do turn things around, we could be in the top 6. That's what I'm hoping for. And a trip to Wembley would be nice, wouldn't it? So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But
the thing is, before these 2 losses, I was on, as much as we did draw a bit too many games, but there was times in them games where you would say, again, Wrexham probably should have won it and killed the game off.
Yeah.
The here and there, we should have been killing the game off. It's the 2 losses now that's really killed the momentum, because again, I still think we can do it and we've got the points to do it, but we just, at the moment, we're just not, we're not, like you said, it's the mentality, it's the players thinking they're too good for the league. We shouldn't be doing it.
When we're on top, we're not taking advantage. Where that 15-minute period, the first 15 minutes, we hardly had. We had 2 shots on target, both from Ramsey, I think, both straight into the arms. Thatcher had a chance where he launched it into row Z instead of trying to curve it into the top corner like he normally does. But we don't take advantage of when we're on top. Same against, we did it yesterday, we did it against Hull, we did it against Portsmouth, Wrexham. Other games, Swansea was the only time that we went and did it and got what we wanted and took advantage.
Swansea was our last decent game, in my opinion. I think that's probably the best we've played all season, Swansea.
But I did a bit on a Weldy. It was Fatrou's Weldy that set that one up. If he hit row Z there instead of hit the back of the net, which is more than possible, we might have driven that as well.
But this is what Jamie was saying before about Daka and all these 3 strikers. For me, and you probably won't agree, but you need someone. I know Daka was given a few games in a row, but for instance, Carranza, you just need to give him a few games in a row. No matter how bad he plays, you need consistency. Each game, if you we'll go Daka this game, and then we'll go back to Wayu like yesterday. Then we'll go for this. Then we'll go for Carranza. It's for me. There's no consistency, and they're not going to be anywhere near consistent if you don't get a consistent amount of starts. I thought both Daka and Carranza, when they did start the games in the last few weeks, I actually thought, as much as they didn't score, they put themselves around and did their job. For me yesterday, I don't think there was ever a chance we were going to have a shot on target with Ayew, because he was nowhere near it.
He's not a striker, though. Either.
I know he's not.
But saying this, that Ayew is not a striker. He's a midfielder.
If he's not a striker, then why are we playing him up top when you've got Carranza, Daka, Evans, Popoff in, not even on the bench?
Jamie, you tell me, mate. For all we know, and I was going to ask you this earlier on, all 3 of you and the guys in the chat, is Marty being told who to play by above?
No, I don't think. I won't
put it.
For me, yesterday, the one time we needed that striker yesterday, and an out striker, Fatou put that ball across the box, clear through. So if we had a striker in that game, we would have scored it, because there was just a straight tap in. There was no one there to be seen, because Ayew was probably still in midfield, running around. So,
like Wayne's just said, it's all ifs and buts. Take the points. This is the problem. We don't take the points, do we? That is the thing. No. We need to take the points. But yeah, I was. You were saying about Cifuentes the other earlier on, Reedy. and I did a bit on Radio Leicester about 2 weeks ago, just after the Swansea game, during the international break. And Owen asked me about what are your pros and cons for this season. And I said, Jamie Monga, Fatawa, and Marty Cifuentes, because I like the way of his tactics. He can change the game a bit, which he was doing at the Swansea game. And I've gone on the Swansea game and a couple of games before that we drew. But then since then, it's making me self-doubt myself about him.
He did change the system yesterday. He did change the system yesterday.
I'm seriously having second thoughts about him. I want him to succeed. I wanted Steve Cooper to succeed, but he got the boot after 11 games. It's now 12 games. It's exactly the same period of time, game time, that Cooper went. I wanted Van Nistelrooy to succeed, but it didn't happen. I want him to succeed, but I can't see it happening, unfortunately.
The issue is, I think majority of fans do like what Marty has to offer and what he says and what he's doing for the club. But in the end, it's points. If he doesn't get the points, that's where you're going to lose your job. I still think he's the man for the job, because I still think the way we've seen us play at times this season has been decent. Again, Portsmouth first off, we were clearly the better team, didn't kill them off, and it cost us. We've still got the mentality to be able to do it. We just haven't got the mentality to do it for a whole game. And I think Marty is the man for the job, but he's got to change this. He's got to change his mentality in the team, because he can't keep picking the same players and expecting the same result like Ruud did do. We've got to make some changes in the team to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more passionate. It just seems like we've lost that.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask about the Blackburn game. I'm going to leave that to Phil and Jono and Simon on Thursday. Nick, I'm going to call it quits there, because I think we've talked the arse out of yesterday's game already. But Nick, thanks a lot for joining us.
Cheers, mate. Nice to have you back.
Cheers, pal. We shall see you probably next week, mates.
You will do, mate. No problem.
Cheers. Jono, we shall see you later, pal. Thanks for joining us. Have you got anything planned for today? Or just the only morning you have off in a week?
Yeah. I've got a rare Sunday morning off, so thought it'd be nice to join you guys. Nice to see everyone again. Not much planned for the afternoon, to be honest.
You're more than welcome. Anytime you want to come on, pal, just let us know.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
We shall see you later. Be good, pal. Reedy, well, reading his new loft conversion. How the devil are you? All good?
I'm all right, mate.
All snugly and warm?
I am, just unfortunate that we can't seem to get the points on the board.
No, I know. But like I say, it's nice to be back. Reedy, thanks a lot for joining me and helping me out the last 6 months during the summer. We were a bit busy at work, so much appreciated, pal.
So Reedy, I'm going to be going now. It's fine.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm gonna chuck you off. See you later, pal. Be good. See you later. Rightio, lads and lasses. Much appreciated. Thank you for having me back. I'll be back next week. But just a little bit of homework for you. Please like and share whatever platform you're watching it on, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just like and share. It's absolutely fantastic that you've all come and joined me for my first show back in 6 months. So it's ciao, adios, goodbye, adieu.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.